Major General Edward M. Browne was born in 1930 in New York City during the Depression. He was raised by his aunt and uncle in Brownsville, Texas, and was drafted into the Army in 1950 as a high school graduate early in the Korean War. 2 years later, in 1952, he was commissioned as a be-all-you-can-be Transportation Corps Second Lieutenant. Over the next 24 years, with each duty in the United States, Korea, Germany, and Vietnam, Ed became more and more expert in aviation maintenance and logistics. As a result, he was selected as the best possible program manager to take charge of the very challenging Advanced Attack Helicopter program during the competitive fly-off in April 1976. What resulted was the Army's premier attack helicopter to this very day, the AH-64 Apache. Inheriting an at-risk program with many challenges in management, design, and funding, Ed addressed them all. For management issues, Ed toured a Toyota plant in Japan to gain insight into production efficiency. For design issues, Ed worked with private industry to help solve the Apache's flight and handling issues. Next, the Apache needed to engage Soviet tanks and anti-aircraft systems, so Ed drove the development of a new radar system. And since the Apache needed new weapons systems, Ed and his team selected a 30mm cannon and Hellfire missiles with highly effective targeting acquisition and fire control, and integrated leading-edge technologies of armament, targeting, and weapons systems, even as the aircraft itself was being developed. As for funding issues, the Apache twice suffered congressional funding cuts during the development and pre-production testing, but Ed was a fighter and very persuasive. Meeting with congressional and DoD staffers, Ed's powerful arguments helped get the funding restored. Pushing the Apache while in competition with the Army's other Big Five programs was an enormous challenge. But again, Ed Browne was a dynamic and innovative leader who succeeded. In March 1982, Congress approved the production of the Apache. The next year, recognized as the guiding force behind the Apache, Ed accepted the Collier Trophy on behalf of the U.S. Army, Hughes Aircraft Helicopters, and the industry team for the greatest American aeronautic achievement of 1982. This was the first for a military helicopter and Army aviation. On December 31, 1982, Major General Browne retired from the Army, but his preparation for rapid production of the Apache allowed it to be fielded quickly. This fielding had a strategic impact and helped the United States win the Cold War. The Apache remains the most advanced attack helicopter in the world, with over 2,400 in the U.S. Army and 16 allied nations. After his military career, Ed continued to aid the development of aircraft and rockets as an executive at Martin Marietta. Sadly, he passed away just last year. Having changed the face of battle against enemy armor and infantry, able to fly day and night in some of the most unforgiving areas of the world, Major General Browne shaped the Apache into a phenomenal weapon system that's highly survivable and a national asset. For over 40 years, the Apache has enabled our Army aviators to deliver devastating effects in combat, helped fight the global war on terror, and has deterred aggression around the world. Able to work with many organizations and many people, Ed was widely admired and even loved. And now, for outstanding service to the nation and the Army, Major General Edward M. Browne is rightfully honored with induction into the Army Aviation Hall of Fame.